What's going on, everybody? What's going on? It's your boy Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dot himself. Want to come to you guys with a quick live feed this evening. We're going to talk about a subject matter I think is super, super important. That's understanding your target market. I think too often people get into business and they have an idea of what they want to do with that particular business. Let me get this microphone straight right quick, guys. Hold on one second. Let me get the mic straight. Yeah, again, far too often people go into business and they have an idea of what particular business they want to do, have a product or service that they have in mind, and they just want to give it out to everybody. They're concerned with sales, they're concerned with doing business with everyone, but they don't have it niched down or anything just to go to a particular person. Just say, hey, we open up, we want to service everybody. And what I want to have a discussion with everyone because it's cool to see all the success stories out there, but I'm gonna be totally honest with you. The main reason why a lot of people fail is simply because they have no idea of who they're trying to issue out their particular product or services to. And so that's why I want to have that quick discussion with you guys tonight. What we're gonna be talking about understanding your target market. I know it's late this evening. Your boy been tied up getting ready for tax season, been training everybody, getting all that stuff together. But just want to get a quick live feed for you guys. I'm gonna be back in the studio with DJ Lab and Misfits Radio, Misfits TV on this Thursday. Hell, I forgot what the hell the show was about this week anyway. I don't know if we're doing Change Lives or Mr. Short Dollar, but I'll be back in the studio this week. But I'm still at the crib and I want to have a quick live feed with you guys tonight. Again, we're discussing understanding your target market. Understanding your target market is for you entrepreneurs out there, current or potential entrepreneurs that want to get into business. You have a product or service that you have, and we want to just kind of niche down or hone down on who you're trying to get your product or service out to. Okay. Again, I am Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. You know, Mr. Short Dollar, we talk about personal finance, be it entrepreneurship and investing. We right now stream live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. But the main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel, where we have over 1,000 videos covering business operations, business management, business finance. No matter what platform you are looking at right now, please make sure you go to the YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar, where that's the main hub. Like, there's over 1,000 videos on the YouTube channel. And we have an active grants playlist with over 150 different grant opportunities for you guys to take advantage of. Yep, you heard it right. Over 150 different grant opportunities for you guys to take advantage of. That's Mr. Short All on YouTube. But again, tonight we're talking about understanding your target market. Okay, guys, if you have any questions or comments pertaining to what we're talking about tonight, feel free to leave your comments in the chat. No matter what platform you're looking at, I'll be able to see everything right now. I miss my boy Lab. He'd be on the ones and twos. He's able to help me get through a lot of this stuff, but we're gonna make it happen regardless. A little light over here. We're gonna make it happen regardless, guys. So again, no matter what platform you're looking at, you got any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the chat. With it, let me try to scroll. Y'all gotta bear with me when I'm trying to go through everything. But again, tonight we're talking about understanding your target market. And why is it important to understand your target market? Three key reasons why you need to understand your target market. Because again, when you start talking about it, when you see so many people that go into business and you see the posts on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, people are sharing the post. Hey, we got this club open, we got this restaurant open. These are the shirts we're selling to. People just putting it out to the masses, whoever. And the thing about it, the reach that you're going to have when I'm talking about the people that you're going to be able to get to, is pretty much just restricted to whoever you're connected to, i.e., Facebook friends or whatever, or the people they share it or not, right? So it's just stopping there. The issue comes up is that the particular product or service that you're doing may not be of interest to the people in your circle, right? They love you, they care about you, they think you're a great person, but they're really not interested in your cakes. They're not interested in your t-shirts. They're not interested in your lawn service. They love you, they support you, but they have no interest of it or no need, right? So we have to understand that when we start talking about understanding what our target market is, we have to be realistic about not necessarily what we're trying to do or who we're trying to get in contact with. What's this? Pretty Looney 99. I wish I could make money online in my sleep. Oh, it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. If you go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, got tons of different videos and advice on how to make money and things like that, especially from an entrepreneurial standpoint. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, subscribe. Definitely be able to help you. But I do think if you follow the information that we have on tonight's show, it'll be able to help you steer you in the right direction with that. Again, we're talking about understanding your target market because I was just previously stating, guys, you have to know who wants your product or service, right? I can't stress that to you enough. I don't say it's a bad thing to just open up and just want to offer your products or service to everybody. The issue just comes up is you have to be realistic. If the people you're offering it to, are they in need of it? Are they in interest of it, right? So you follow me on YouTube. I appreciate it. I hope I've been helping you out with the information we've been putting out. If not, make sure you leave a comment in the chats, especially on the YouTube. If you're like, hey, Deonte, can you put that information on this? Do videos on that stuff. Come from entrepreneur perspective or whatever, finance perspective, just put that in there. We'll definitely get to it. My cousin Stanley. Now, what's going on, Stanley? What's happening with your cousin? Good to see you. Happy holidays to you. And again, we're talking about why is it important to understand your target market? Why is it so crucial? Three key reasons. The first one being business alignment. Help tailor your product or service and messaging to meet your customer needs, right? We say that business alignment. We know that talking about. We know who. We ain't wasting time trying to just give it out to everybody. We want to make this person happy. We want to make that person happy. We want to try to get this person, that person. We know who we're trying to get everything into. Like we're designed the business to be in line with who the people are we're trying to get it to. And that can be individuals. That can be B2B, what we call business to the business, another business. It can be to the government. It can be, different organizations, right? Say if you service churches, say if you service schools, say if you service athletic organizations, right? Knowing who you're trying to get into. So now you're building everything, from that perspective, right? Second, efficient resource allocation. You're not wasting money, spending money and time on things that's not going to be necessary, right? I get phone calls all the time. I'll give you guys a perfect example of that. I get phone calls all the time. Some of the high schools may be advertising their the calendars, right? And they have like a marketing company that'll call and say, hey, Deonte, we want Majestic Business Services to advertise, on our calendar, and you get a reach of so many people. Now, here's the deal. If those high schools are not in the immediate area of my tax office, it makes no damn sense for me to advertise on their calendar, right? Because those people in that area are not going to come to me, right? And I know this, being in business over 20 years, I'm not going to waste the money to try to put myself in front of people who aren't interested in my product or service, right? So that's where we start talking about efficient resource allocation. Make sure we're allocating time and money into the right direction towards the right customer for us. And the third one is customer loyalty. Building strong relationships when you genuinely understand who the audience are. Like when you know who your people are, I know the Mr. Short Dollar fans. I know the people that want to come service the Majestic Business Service. I know how they look. I know how they talk, right? I have a good idea of who they are. I can build my brand out from them to make them feel good. I don't have to waste time to try to, we're always going to over deliver and make sure we give a good product or service to the customer, but we're not wasting time trying to, push things to people who's not really interested in us, right? So that's the thing about it. Well, again, those three key things to understand your target market is business alignment, efficient resource allocation, and customer loyalty. Okay. Again, this is Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Tonight's show, we're talking about, talking about understanding your target market. If you have to leave, or you just came into the conversation, again, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. Go to the YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar, subscribe. And, if you have to leave, and check out the video in its full entirety. You just came in. Again, along with the other over 1,000 videos on the YouTube channel, but you can definitely go back, see the video in its full entirety, and also leave a comment there if you got a question or something. It may pop up in your head later on. Leave it in the comments. I'll definitely get back with you with that. The second thing, guys, we start looking at, again, we're talking about understanding your target market. When we start having these conversations, I know you guys hear it all the time where you say, hey, build a niche. Like people give you all kind of advice on certain things you need to be doing. How do you find your ideal customer, right? When I own my salon, and the question you ask yourself, when I had a salon, I had salon suites, had it for 17 years, and I went to it was like a mastermind class back in 09 or 2010, something like that. Long story short, the question was asked. I'm young in the business because I just owned a salon, don't know anything about who is your customer? And I'm thinking about the people that were coming in off the street. And the way my model was set up, that being the salon suites and not necessarily people coming in and you just get in the chair you want to. The customers, my actual customers, were the people that own the suites, right? They're the rent, at least not the suites for me, right? So the thing of it was, I had to sit down myself to say, okay, if that's my customer, the people that are renting the salon suites from me, how am I marketing to them? How am I marketing to them? So from that point, I had to decide what I wanted in my particular salon, guy. Who did I want to be in my salon? And here's the thing about it, right? What you find out real quick when you get in business, you can be in a point where you're just tired of, you just want business. Business getting slow, and I'm trying to get people in. And you see that a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I'm not talking about anybody business. I'm a cigar smoker, right? And one thing I've noticed about the cigar industry, especially the past 5 years, so many people have started cigar spots. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not knocking that. But they open up a cigar spot, which with no particular niche in mind. Because one night, you want to have this cigar spot just, I guess, where professionals are, and they're smoking. Then the next night they're doing karaoke, and then the next night they got the ladies' night. Then the next night they in a line dancing, and then the next night you got the DJ. And what's happening? You got people from all over the place, and after a while, you got some people go there to visit, and maybe sometimes come back, but probably not. You don't have an exact tribe. I've seen cigar spots where it's just pretty much the niche is maybe older guys or whatever just want to go in there, have it as a sanctuary, talk and kick it or whatever. And those ones, to be honest with you, are the ones that hell last the longest and the most stable. Why? Because they have a set customer base that comes in there every damn day, and they come after work, have a drink, have a smoke, joke and laugh, then they gotta go back home to their families or by themselves, right? But they're in there every day doing the same thing, as opposed to, okay, we want to fill it out this night, we want to fill it out that night, we want to get a crowd here, we want to get the ladies in, we want to get the bikers in, and you're all over the damn place with your audience, right? And you don't build any kind of customer loyalty. And that's why, we started identifying that ideal customer. I knew with my salon, I wanted somebody that had been in the industry, let's say over 35 years old. Didn't really care about gender, if it was male or female or anything like that. But somebody that was stable, because my salon wasn't on the main strip, so I didn't. You pretty much had to have an established customer base, so it wasn't good for somebody to come in my spot that was probably straight out of school. I didn't really want any lash techs. I didn't want anybody doing anything, exotic. Not knocking it, but I wanted to have what was pretty much older, stable people that want to go in, make their money. Everything was clean, working, and they just was like, hey, we older, 30, 40, 50 years old. We just want to do our thing, make our money, everything working, and we leave. And I ran with that almost 15 years, and it just kind of got a little funky around by the time I divorced because my focus went there. But pretty much I knew who the person that was gonna work in my salon. I knew how they looked. So even when something came open, I knew what to look for. I knew where to put my advertisement at because I knew what those particular people look, right? So that was the kind of things we got to start looking at when we start our business. Like when you think about identifying that ideal customer, you got to start with some self reflection. How does that person look? How does that person look? What are their age, race, demographic, interests, and things like that. How do they look, right? You have to narrow that down. That being if you have, and again, sometimes we can just say, hey, I just want anybody come in my restaurant. I want anybody come in my bar. I mean, that's cool and all right, but at the end of the day, when we start talking about customer, especially repeat dollars, because it's one thing for everybody to stop. There's a new spot in town and we want to go there and try it out. That's cool and all right. But when we start talking about people coming over and over and over and over again, dealing with you, you got to sit here and say to yourself, what do we have to have in place for the particular people, right? That's what we got to start looking at, okay? So we want to start backing out. How does my customer look? How does my customer look? And then we start kind of drafting that out and everything. It's gonna be a little tedious, but you got to be honest about what you're trying to do. But do not be afraid to think that you're isolating people. You turning people away. Okay, don't get loyalty confused. With people just come to visit. You got to kind of understand. Like I want to make this where just like something like Cheers. Like you had you looked at the show. Wherever I come into the bar, you had the regulars that was there. You also had people that were coming in off work and visiting in town and stuff like that. But you want to say, okay, this is for these particular people, right? Then that bar, I think, was working class, middle-aged white guys just coming off work and everything like that. They weren't so stuck on a particular industry. But that's what I'm saying. Just kind of have an idea of how that customer looks. What kind of money do they want to spend? What kind of time frame do they want to put in? So and all this helps you uh, back out in regards to the ambiance and the other things that you want to be able to deliver to that particular customer, right? Sometimes it doesn't make sense to have all the bells and whistles in a particular place when the people that are in the area or the people that's going to patron your restaurant or use your service not a big deal to them, right? And I give that salon as another example, guys. You guys know I'm an accountant by profession. I've been in business over 23 years, but in particular with that salon, there were probably about in that 15 years. I had a salon 17 years. In that 17 years, probably about 20 or 30 barbershops and salons that were open up in that media area by people that actually knew the hair industry. And they would have these beautiful setups. And I'm talking, it was all nice chairs and all this other kind of stuff. I'm not stupid. I see people walk by, stick their head in when I was there. And they would look up the place and like, okay, man, this kind of like a dump or whatever. And not it was a dump, but they was just putting so much stuff into their spots, right? But here's the whole thing about it. I'm keeping it real. My shop was over there for Old National. Like, it didn't make sense to be putting all these, angels in the sky and all this other aesthetics on there. And like, man, the area I couldn't charge the prices for booth rent for that area that I could charge in Buckhead or downtown, right? So why the hell would I put all that money in there? And I'm just thinking, let's go back when we talk about break-even analysis and stuff like that. It makes no sense to put all these things into your spot, and it's going to take you years to recoup the original startup costs, right? So at the end of the day, it didn't make sense to do that. And the people that rented from me, the stylist and their customers, that wasn't a big deal. They wanted safe, clean, secure, right? Everything nice and clean. I didn't need to have all the other stuff. Some of the other people that put all those, dynamic stuff that was in there, they weren't going to make their money back. It doesn't make sense. So you got to be realistic about, are you trying to impress yourself? Or are you trying to, just have people just talking about it? Because at the end, I can talk about your restaurant. I can talk about your bar. I can talk about your salon and stuff like that. Man, it look nice. It look nice. It look nice. But if there's no return on it in regards to the money that's coming back, it doesn't make sense to do it. Because we can argue opinions all day and night. Well, I wanted to look this way. I want to look that way. Money talk. If you're going to still pull in the same amount of money, it doesn't make damn sense. So we can get into feelings and all that other kind of stuff. Again, we're talking about understanding your target market. You have to be realistic about how much you're going to be putting in and what you're going to be able to get back. Math is math, right? Math is math. So if you're gonna put in, $15,000, $20,000 in startup costs, you know how much money you're gonna make each month. Don't get confused with I'm making, we're bringing in $15,000 a month, and that's the profit. Remember, we had those initial startup costs. We got to recoup that back first, and then then it's profit after that. Well, we're doing that outside of the margin that we may have on the margin being the difference between the revenue and expenses on a monthly basis. But we got to recoup the startup costs. Most of the time, it takes people years to do that, excuse me, because they put so much of a build out to get everything started. So you got to be realistic about those particular things when you getting started in business. And when you sitting there and you don't do any kind of analysis on those customers, those just have an idea of who we're trying to get in there. That stuff, it'll bite you. It'll bite you because you be all over the place trying to get everybody in there. So kind of spend a little time analyzing who's going to be dealing with you, who you trying to service, right? We're not going to turn nobody away, but we know those anchor of people that's going to be, dealing with us. You can find information out by doing your research. You can do what we call quantitative research, or that's using numbers where you got surveys, analytics, industry reports, things like that. You can do that, and I understand sometimes people can say, "Well, look, man, that's not my world. I don't have time to get into that. Go get somebody that does." It's easier to do the uncomfortable stuff on the front end before you have spent major dollars. The only problem of it is when you start doing things like that, when you start doing the research, it's boring to you if that's not your world. I get it. But remember what I always say, entrepreneurs, business owners, you don't have to know everything. You just need to know a little bit about everything. You don't have to be an expert in every single thing, but you need to know just a little bit about everything for you to be able to make informed decisions, right? You got your lawyer talking to you, you got your accountant talking to you, you got your insurance person talking to you. You don't have to know all of that stuff. You just need to know enough of that stuff so when they tell you things, you can make an informed decision. Okay. So when we start talking about trying to find out who thanks Stacy, who the actual customers are, getting that research, that quantitative, the surveys, analytics, industry reports. Also, we can do what we call qualitative research, where that's more so just doing customer interviews, focus groups, social media listing. You can do a post, say, hey guys, what are you guys looking for, and things like that. Gather that information. Remember, we don't have to make a move every time we hear somebody speak. But what I'm saying to you, you got, especially in the information age, it's on my shirt. Um, during the information age, we can just make a post, man, and we can gather a lot of information, get a lot of questions answered. A lot of times we just be quiet, right? We just be quiet and let folks talk. A lot of our questions can get answered. I tell people that all the time. You got to stop trying to force feed everything down people's mouth. Sometimes just listen to them. People tell you enough information that you need to hear if we just listen to them. Okay, so but again, that qualitative research where we can kind of just start getting other information in. Okay, and then from that point we start drafting out that customer persona. So we start stitching, just making that sketch. How does my customer look? We're looking at the demographics, the key elements of it. Number one, looking at those demographics. how much they make, what race they are, what age they are, what area they live in, all that kind of stuff, right? Then remember what I keep saying, guys. We don't have to be stuck on a particular thing, but it's just kind of helping us with doing this. You got to plan out stuff in business, guys. I'm telling you, the shit that you think is boring, when you neglect it, it will bite you in the butt every time. I'm telling you, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. I'm just gonna go out here and do what I do. I'm telling you, when you start blowing stuff off and it seems like it's not a big deal, all that money that you screaming that you can't afford to lose, you will lose it. I'm telling you, you will lose it. That's why so many. It just seems like a lot of times when we get money in our pocket, we become smarter. People call me all the time. They have money to spend. Hey, we're gonna start this business up, and I just need to get some stuff with the financials. They know nothing about financials. Know nothing about financials at all. Know nothing about business operation, business management. They know their skill set, right? And they're very good with it, but they don't know certain key things. And when you in talking to the people that will tell them what to do, man, it's very uninteresting to them. But what happens is that's why you see so many people lose their shirt in business because they'll say, "Well, I didn't know this was going to happen. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know is unforgiving. I didn't know it's unforgiving." So you saying that after the damn fact, lost your money, you lost your car, you done lost relationships and shit like that. I just take a little time, read a little bit, talk to a couple of people that you want to normally talk to, gather the information from there. It may put your business plan off maybe a couple months or whatever, but it's cool. You still have your sanity. You still have your savings. You still have your home. You still have your family. So just take a little time with that, okay? Um, we also look at psychographics, that mean the interests, values, motivation, lifestyle, and personality of particular people. Definitely, we also look at what we call pain points. What are the challenges? What are people that want your particular uh, your product or service, what they're looking for. Quick example, like the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel. I draft out pain points all the time when I start looking at the people that want the core Mr. Short Dollar audience. That might be people that may be struggling financially, people that maybe having challenges finding information from an entrepreneur standpoint. Also, people that struggle with finding information in regards to business funding. That's why you see some of the grant videos and things like that. Those particular things, looking at those pain points, being able to find solutions for them. I always remember, guys, if you can fix problems, you always find a way to make some money. People have problems. If you can fix problems for people, you'll always be able to make some money. Also, looking at the goals, what do customers hope to achieve with your product and service, right? Who can actually win with using your product and service? Everybody can't, but the people that are, and start building everything out from there. And looking at also people's buying behavior. Do they do it, in the morning or the evening? Do they do it in the fall, spring, winter? When do they do it, right? Is it during tax time? Is it during the summertime? Is it during, when school goes back in? All that kind of stuff. Let me give a quick example. We start talking about a customer persona. Just say you got a lady, Emma Johnson, 34 years old. She's a working parent and entrepreneur. Pain point. She struggles to find time-efficient solutions to balance work and family. And her goal is to use products or services that simplify her life and save time. And it's my job to be able to create a product or service to service her under her conditions and meet her goals, right? And now you're doing that for one person, but you have enough people that you can be able to provide your product or service to be able to create that for. But that's what I started talking about. That's what I mean by kind of drafting out how that person looks, right? If you have a predominantly male audience, predominantly female audience, predominantly educated, predominantly uneducated, does it matter? Those kind of things you got to kind of look at, right? When I say the educated, some people may want a little bit more deeper in information. Some people may want something a little bit more religious based. You have to sit here and say to yourself, okay, this is what we're going to deliver from, guys, and be realistic about what you may want to do and who's out there, what they're looking for, right? Um, Customer ain't always right, but the customer is always paying you. You got to sit there and say to yourself, look, how far am I going to go down this rabbit hole trying to do it my way? And my way is not bringing in decades in my pocket, right? We keeping everything from a moral perspective up. but we got to be realistic about how this stuff really, what direction is it going in? Is it benefiting me? What we got? Let's talk America Radio. Good evening. With uncertain economics, can customer target audience change? If so, how can biz operators adjust practically? Flexibility isn't a strength for many. Again, guys, the question is: good evening. With uncertain economics, can customer target audience change? If so, how can biz operators adjust practically? Flexibility isn't the strength of many. Absolutely, customer target audience can change. With the things happen, right? You may have different laws that happen. You may have a different vendor come in. Um, you may have just a different trend, and you have to be flexible enough to do that. You, the thing of it is, when you're an entrepreneur, business owner, you got to be kind of forward thinking and understanding that the world is going in the way it's going at that particular point in time, but it changes, right? We used to have 8 tracks, then we got cassettes, then we got CDs, and now we're downloading, right? Evolution is going to be imminent. I'm sorry, on a ghetto dictionary. Evolution is going to be imminent. Period. Right. So we have to be able to kind of adjust and change and pivot and turn with technological advances. So those kind of things, will happen. But that's more set on how you are. If you can make adjustments with certain things, so many people. And that's what I'm saying. Even with, like I said, I'm a cigar smoker, but I was smoking cigars way before the whole trend of cigar bars and stuff came out. Do I think it's going to be here forever? Absolutely not. Hell no. I think just like the traditional places that I started smoking at, they're going to be around, right? Because they have that niche who they're going to provide for. But the boutique bar, karaoke, ladies' night, biker night type cigar spots, now that shit gonna change because it's a trend, right? Same thing with some of the hookah spots, right? Just trying to think off the top of my head was some of the chic ideas that have come and went over the years, right? But you guys know what I mean by that. It's not talking bad about anybody's businesses, but there are some things that are going to stay and some things are going to be trends, right? So those kind of things you have to be, if you're able to pivot, adjust, and change and move with your products and services, you typically have some kind of success. But that's going to be a little bit, slated on a particular person that's in charge with that. But when we start looking at, steps to understand your target market, first we got to identify broad categories, define that market size and broad audience segments. So when we start looking at those that target market, being realistic, you got how they look and all this other stuff, the other demographic information. We got to be realistic, but is there for what I'm trying to do? Is there going to be enough people around to be able to service it? Right? Not I hope, not I think, not I pray, but are there going to be enough people? We're going to open this restaurant. If we're going to open this cell phone repair place, whatever we're going to do, this barbershop, is there going to be enough people around, not necessarily in the community, but just we can draw them in that they can service our community, right? We got the numbers. We've done our market research. We found, listen, there's 60,000 people in this area. We can go off 1% of that. If 1% come to us on a monthly basis, we should be able to cover costs, right? You got to do that. Numbers. Remember, guys, numbers keep you accountable. Words will keep you just hoping and praying and wishing, right? But you got to get on that nerve stuff. Got to get them numbers in. Again, if you're not good with doing it, go on and pay somebody. Make sure you're paying somebody that can explain that stuff to you in English and not in accounting and not in finance, right? But you got to get that information in. Narrow down your focus. Narrow down your focus. We're looking at those demographics, those psychographics and stuff like that. Start getting it together, right? If I go out there in my yard, see all these trees out there. If I'm just shooting, I have no particular target. But if I know I'm looking for an oak, or if I'm looking for a pine, I can find one and shoot at it. But if not, I'm just looking at the forest, I'm shooting at everybody. I'm wasting time, I'm wasting money, I'm wasting bullets, I'm wasting everything. So we got to kind of start narrowing that stuff down. Got to validate those findings. You want to test it. Does it work on these particular people, right? This is, I done shot it down. Now we offering to do it. Let's see how the mix goes. Let's see what's going in. Let's get some good data in. Give it a little time, a couple months or whatever. Remember, we get in the business. We can't just go in there with day-to-day uh operating cash flow. We're just hoping this stuff works. You got to kind of, just be prepared to kind of test some things out. Do not get early success confused with stability. Do not get early success confused with stability. A lot of places do this because they have success early and they think that's how it is. And then shit happens. School start back, a plant closed down, a law change, and everything goes haywire, right? But at that particular time, it was working. Do not get early success confused with stability, right? So we want to validate those findings. And most important, what we just talked about a second ago, be able to keep evolving, be able to change with the times, be able to change with the laws, be able to change with technological advances, right? Um, we was Black Planet, MySpace. Then we go to, I know I'm missing something in between, but your Facebook, your Instagram, now with TikTok, and there's gonna be some more stuff coming in, right? We got to be able to adjust. And I'm just I'm using social media, but I'm pretty sure you guys know uh, uh, pretty much a lot of things that have evolved over the years where we had to kind of just adjust to new products and services. Stacy says, where and how do we find the info? Good question. You can get U.S. Census data. You can pay different marketing firms with doing it. Sometimes even with your local municipality, your city, your county, your state, they may have that census data set up when we start doing that. But there are a lot of marketing companies that you have to pay. Then they'll give that to you. It really depends on what you're looking at. But the U.S. Census data is right there for you free with doing it. But you can also like your local municipality, if you want to get set up in a particular city, they should be able to give some of that information to you. And a lot of information is right there on your fingertips. Like you can just do a Google research. If I want to find out the median income for Happy Town, USA in Georgia, you should be able to pull it up, right? So it's just a matter of knowing. Um, Good question, knowing where to look, but also what to be looking for, right? We want to get that demographic information to find out those particular things. But a lot of stuff is at your fingertips, and you can go to a lot of sometimes even to the economic development. It might be, i.e., the business license department, and your particular municipality, that be your city, your county, your state, and they may have a lot of information set up as well. Okay, so that's a very good question in regards to how to look, but do a quick Google search, and they can get do that. But I would also kind of hit more than one more than one particular area. We're trying to get that information only because uh, different sources may have different information, and they may present the information in a different light, right? So kind of keep that in mind as well when we start talking about looking up information. Okay. But again, those steps to understand your target market, identify broad categories, narrow down your focus, validate your findings, and be able to keep evolving. Guys, your business is hot right now, but shit is gonna change. So we gotta kind of keep that in mind, right? Everybody's not gonna want the gooey fries, right? Everybody's not gonna want the passion punch. I mean, it's gonna get old after a while. Sometimes you have some things that stand the test of time. Everybody's just gonna be crazy about a Big Mac 30 years from now. I mean, if you're lucky, that's what happened. But most of the time, you got to be able to just pivot and turn with the time. Okay. Some of the common mistakes people make when they try to understand the target market, what we talked about earlier, being too broad. You can't try to hit everything. You can't try to hit everything. You will waste so much time, so much money and you're going to be missing so much because again, you're not trying to actually get something and hold on to it, right? We got to be able to narrow that focus down. Remember, guys, we're not turning anyone away. We're not telling people we don't want to give them our product or service. Excuse me. We're just focusing on the people that actually can use our stuff, right? And how they're doing it. We got that as an anchor. We got them coming to us consistently, right? We're good. Getting the damn table. Sorry. We're good, right? We got them coming in, so we're good on that. And that's really what we need to be focusing on. But in the end, of the other people outside of that niche what we're trying to have, if they come in, great. But we got that anchor coming in all the time, consistent, right? and they might be bringing some more people in them. We all with them. What we always say is cheaper to keep a customer than try to get new ones. I can take, man, once I got you, we just need to over deliver. Right now, my tax business, man, we doing grandkids. Like when I started, 0102, now we doing them grandbabies. Over deliver. With that said, I got to make sure we follow up. We take care of people. Go to birthday parties, go to funerals, go send gifts when folks have babies. You do that, you over deliver. People know you care. People know you there. They're gonna take care of you. You gotta make sure you take care of that. Free Spirit 5061 say, hey y'all, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you tuning in. Again, we're talking about common mistakes people avoid, relying on assumptions. We can't go on. Well, I think people like this. I hope people do that. This is hot. This is not. Remember, guys, try to get as much analytical and number data that you can have. Okay. Um, Assumptions will get you in a lot of trouble. What do I always say, guys? Don't get traffic confused with profits. Don't get traffic confused with profits. There are a lot of restaurants with a line wrapped around the corner with people waiting 3 or 4 hours to get their food, and their asses are barely staying open. They are dying to stay open. They're making sales, but the cost to keep open is killing. The products that they're selling is so high they can't even charge. It's causing they're selling a plate for that it costs them $15 to sell it to you for 20. They only make a $3 margin on it. And they can't sell enough of those to turn around, cover rent, cover utilities, cover payroll, and just cover life. They just can't, right? So don't ever get traffic confused with profits. Being an accountant, I'm telling you, I've seen it all. Where you see people like, man, this they doing well, and they not. They not because the cost to carry is killing them. When I'm talking about just to stay open, it's killing them. So don't ever get that assume that hey, because I see everybody getting in the trucking industry, and I see everybody. That was one of the big things. Even a couple of years ago, people get into the trucking industry, they would get a check. See, I seen it all over YouTube. Guy got a $5,000 check, but he never, ever, ever, ever posted what it cost them to do their load. So he just got a $5,000 check, but they spent $4,800 in gas and repairs and stuff with doing that, and they netted 200 fat bucks. It happens all the time, and I'm not trying to talk in an extreme case. Again, we're not making jokes about anybody, but again, we cannot get traffic confused with profits. I'd be lying to you if I say over the years I haven't made mistakes, but with that making mistakes, I've been one of my strengths is I learn from them. So we got to make sure that we actually looking at the data. Make sure we're not ignoring feedback, right? But I just say customer is not always right, but the customer is always paying you. We cannot get so caught into what we want to do and not pay attention to what people are saying. Now listen, can you make everybody happy? No. Are people that really don't have a vested interest in some stuff, are they going to know some of the reason why certain things are a certain way? Absolutely not, right? Trust me, I'm pretty sure any business owner can give a story about how a customer can tell them how they can do their particular thing better and make more money and be more successful. Trust me, I understand that part, but you got to still listen. You got to still listen. People can tell you 10 things. 9 of them be bullshit, but one could be a game changer. You know, I wouldn't even think about that. We probably do need to do that, right? I might need to start, providing some other service. I might need to cut back on this. Let's get rid of the cable. Let's go use the Wi-Fi. I'm just talking off the top of my head. Some things that can kind of trim the fat, cut costs. Let's get a new insurance guy. Let's get this. Hey guys, let's move from the metal to the plastic forks or whatever. Just talking. Do not be so stuck on the way you want to do things that you ignore people. You can sit there and say to yourself, like, look, man, this is the way I want to do it. This is my vision. This is my dream. But again, you're not putting money in your pocket. So you gotta understand how far your ass want to go with that, okay? Cool Breeze, what's going on? I'm from Columbia, South Carolina, and I see a lot of small car lots, but no traffic of people coming through. It makes me wonder how they turn a profit. Most of the time you have to wonder, they probably not turning a profit. I'm here in Atlanta, man. Everybody in Atlanta is a mogul. I appreciate that comment too, bro. Everybody here is a mogul, business owner, trendsetter, and all that stuff. and they're really living up in their damn one mattress apartment. It's just it look cool on social media, right? But it just so often, man, it's tough. Being is rough, man. I wish I wish I could sit here and tell you like, hey, this stuff been easy. I've been in the game for a minute. Um, I always tell people all the time when you want to go down that road of entrepreneurship, man, you can't want the freedom of entrepreneur, but want the security of a job. Because you're gonna sit here and have some moments like this shit it ain't working. It ain't working. And you know, like Cooper just said, like, man, these damn parking lots empty. How in the world are they staying open? Now, with that said, they may have a hot night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They may carry them, maybe. Um, it's hard to last like that, to be totally honest with you. Why? Because rent is so astronomical. So just again, we talked about the cost of care to keep everything open so high. But man, you'll be surprised how many people that are in business will burn through every damn thing they have to stay open because they see things going a certain way. And you know, and as opposed to saying, look, this shit ain't going the way I thought it was gonna go. Let me step out of it before I lose everything. They'll do that. They'll sell it for crumbs or whatever, and just keep it moving. I share that story to you guys all the time when I had that studio downtown Atlanta in the early 2000s. Look, man, I seen that ship sinking. I seen the hole when it hit the boat, and I seen the water coming up, and I just walked the plank because I was not going to be sitting there losing all my other stuff, trying to be on some hip hop stuff, right? And I think a lot of times people just don't. They'll see that and hope that they can do it, and you know, and social media is the culprit a lot of it because people. I get it. I love to see people having success. So I ain't gonna never tell anybody or judge anyone about any kind of post they may have about something that they have or something that they're doing. But sometimes your pride will get you messed up. Shit. I'm not one of those people, right? You know, if I see it not going the right way, and especially if it's not something that I can correct at a level that I feel comfortable, you know, that I could do, we gotta go. We gotta go. It's not that serious to me. You know what I'm saying? It's not that serious to me. I don't have that much pride. Well, like, nah, I can't do this. Everybody know me as that. I don't give a damn. I'm on the other side of being in my business. I'm trying to figure out if my kids gonna take over or not. We'll figure out what direction we're gonna go from there. But I've never been that type. I'm about to lose everything I got to do that. So that you know, just you be amazed how many people out here in business they just in business, right? They you know just it's cool. Maybe getting supplement income from it. Maybe draining and killing their ass, right? But you can't get caught into that. We're looking, especially when we want to look at one business and you say like, man, that probably something neat because not just in the success, it just may be something that you like doing. Like you might drive by and see a speaking installation or a rim shop. And now that you think of business, you're like, man, I've been thinking about that for a minute. And it kind of inspires you to do it, regardless of what you see the traction that they got going on. But because you've seen it, let me go try to do it, right? I've been making cakes for a while. Let me go and do one. I seen one. And it may not necessarily be popping, but like I said, just the simple fact it was there, it inspires you still go back to the mail. I've shared this story before with a young lady came to me. This about 10, 15 years ago on a consulting client. You know, she made some pastry shop, pastry cakes and stuff like that. And I told her, man, we did a whole consult, ran the numbers, and I told her, I said, listen, she want to get a brick and mortar store. And I told her, I said, the math ain't gonna work in regards to what you paying for material and what you selling the cakes for and your availability will be in there, the math wasn't gonna work. I told her go get a kiosk in the mall, make her cakes at home, and just sell them at the kiosk. And she had like that was just the worst thing she could have heard. So she did what she wanted to do, got a brick and mortar. And, you know, that didn't last too long. Because I mean she could not just because you're selling a cake for $100, it may cost you, you know, $75, $80. And again, that may vary in regards to make a cake, right? But the issue comes up is can you make enough cakes well, that margin is in place to do that. Oh, let's see. Can you make enough cakes? Um, well, that difference, that margin is enough to be able to sustain everything, to cover your rent, to cover certain expenses. That just is tough. It's tough to do that. So you got to be realistic about certain things. And I'm well aware that if you've been working in a certain industry, you haven't been doing certain stuff, like that's not your wheelhouse, D. That's not my world. I haven't been doing that kind of stuff. I know carpentry. I know plumbing. I don't know breaking even now. So I don't know financing. I don't know business plans. I don't know projections and stuff like that. I get it. I get it. But you ask better get somebody to do. And you need again, get somebody that can explain that to you in English. I'm being serious to you. And what happens a lot of times, I'm gonna be real with you. Me being an accountant, because I'm not turning the wrench, because I'm not swinging a hammer, and the thought process, you see, he's sitting his ass at a computer that calculator. He should be charging two, three, four, $500 to do that. You ain't doing nothing but on the calculator. But I will remember, guys, you paying that person for what they know, not what they do. Because when you turn around and get, any kind of charge, you get that attorney. I never hear people say, "Well, he just sitting at the damn computer. Why am I paying the lawyer all this?" You paying the lawyer for what he knows, right? You paying the lawyer for what he knows, because at that point, the lawyer still ain't doing too much legwork than what he got his paralegals doing, right? Don't cut corners on stuff because you don't find the value in what they're doing, right? I ain't saying get your money out to every damn person possible, but I am saying don't get so caught up that you don't find value in that particular item. Do not avoid it. Okay, I'm being serious on that. I've seen too many people have tried to get into particular businesses, clubs, um, certain stores. They didn't get with a consultant. They didn't get with an architect. They didn't get with a certain contractor, and they got a lease. And now they can't build a club that close to a school. They can't build that club. And they did the build out, bought the rent and all that stuff. They hadn't got a business license. Then when they started coming around, man, they found out the hard way where they probably could have paid a couple $100 on the front end, find certain information out, and now they're not out of all that money, right? Those kind of things come back and bite you. Cool Breeze asks, does finding your target market also apply to e-commerce or just brick and mortar? Both. Both. Because at the end of the day, good question. Again, the question is, does finding your target market also apply to e-commerce or just brick and mortar? It applies to anything, right? Because even with e-commerce, you're selling stuff online, but you ain't selling stuff online to everybody. And again, just say if you're selling golf clubs online, right? You know how those people look that's going to be going online. You may not have some older cats that's necessarily looking for the clubs online. You may have a certain demographic. You got equipment. If you're doing resale, you still know how those people look, right? Right? You still know who's going to be coming. Everybody may not necessarily be interested in that. So it's applicable to anything. That's a good question. Regardless of the actual location of your business, be it online, be it in a physical brick and mortar spot, you still know who wants to come to you, right? Even though you may have products or services that it doesn't matter the ages of those particular people, but you still know that, hey, listen, we know who's looking for this, because what you're selling may be for a certain interest group, right? With doing it, but it doesn't matter if you're doing it online or if you're doing it brick and mortar. You still know who's going to be coming to you. And again, that could be just because, again, everybody's not coming online, right? Everybody doesn't have time to stop at a store, but you know how those people look. I mean, it doesn't have to be an exact person, but the more you can go from, oh shit, I'm trying to get my ass in front of this camera. I'm sorry. The more you can go from here to here, the better. You ain't necessarily gonna get that little tight shot group. Well, okay, cool. This is my group. You might just be here, but it's real tough to push when you're here because I'm shooting all over the damn place, right? I'm wasting all kind of money. I'm gonna give an example from me. This is just a free game for you guys. When my tax business, when I first started, I've been in business 23 years. When I really had great success is when I niched everything down, because I was doing the regular advertising, right? I'm running on the radio station and doing that, running Google ads to hit all of Atlanta. And just realistically, I can't. Shit, we only got so many people at each office, right? And at that time, I had more than one. So at the end of the day, I knew what one office could handle, right? That'd be a couple hundred to 1,000 people over the 4 year tax, 4 months of the tax season. The thing of it was when I said, look, why don't I just focus on a 5 mile diameter of each office? Why don't I just do that? Because at each one of my offices, I had at least 50,000 people in a 5 mile, circumference, right? I just had to get 1% of that, and that would have covered everything for the office. Once that shit went in my hard head, skies were the limit. I didn't have to advertise all over Georgia, all over America, all over Atlanta. I just had to focus on 5 miles around each office. And I got fat at every location doing that. Because I just had to have 1%. 1% was going to get me fat. And I think once we start narrowing it down, stop shooting everywhere. Look, like I said, I go in the woods, I'm looking for the oaks. I'm looking for the pines. Once I figure out what I'm looking for, I can just shoot at that. And then if I shoot and it don't work, I don't like it, I can change another one. But when I'm just shooting at the forest, I ain't gonna hit shit. So we gotta kind of keep that have that kind of perspective. That'll help you out a lot. Help. Let's Talk America Radio. Look how many legendary giants had to restart. Failure isn't the end. And that's right. That's right. And you know what? It's not about failure being the end. Failure is a teacher. And when we look at it from that perspective, if it don't work, what do we learn from it? Maybe we can do it this way. Maybe we can do it that way. The problem comes up, in my personal opinion, when people have setbacks or we say a failure, things didn't work. They put themselves in a position where they can't recover. Keep yourself in a position where you can transition to something else. If you see that boat sinking and all that stuff, like I said, don't let your pride overtake you. Where you so knee deep into it, like, man, I can't. I already gave up this. I already lost that. Damn that. Damn that. Look, you can get another car. You can get another house. You can get another business. You can't get another you. You cannot get another you. And there are people out here stroking and croaking, trying to hold on to something that just ain't meant to be. It just ain't meant to be. And you got to be smart enough to understand things ain't going a certain way. I know you bought that equipment. I know you got in that lease. I know that you had a feeling of pride when you have success, when everybody, man, I'm proud of you, good job, and everybody looking. That shit hard to come out of when things ain't working. Now you're looking funny, man. It didn't work. People like, man, I thought you had this. I thought you had that. I did. I did. Don't now. And be okay with it. That's the thing about it. When we start talking about being successful, people that are successful, they feel bad. They hurt when things don't go right. But the key difference is it's a shorter frame of recovery, right? I'm telling you, I just be honest with myself. I've had a lot of setbacks over the years, but usually 48 hours. I'm sorry. It's about 2 days. I'm banged up, but after that second day, all right, let's get back on. Let's go to the next thing. And with your recovery time ain't the same. Some folks just never the same. Things didn't go right. They pissed at the world. Folks didn't support me. People don't do this. And you see the damn posts and stuff. It may not be that, man. It just maybe something you did. Maybe just be technological advances. Every dog gonna have their day. When I first started in tech business, we had like a refund, all kind of crazy stuff. There was no hardly any kind of government regulations. People come in tax office, they get their damn refund in 15 minutes, right? They sit down for a little bit. We cut them a check, we give them a card, and it was on and popping. It doesn't work like that now. Probably 48 to 50% of the market are doing their own taxes now, right? Things change. You got to be able to pivot and adjust and move, right? That's just how it is. You got all kind. Now it's still the same way. You got everybody in the moment out here trying to do damn taxes. The other flip side of it is with AI. I'm sorry, no. And my little crown and ginger ale. Keep me going tonight. With AI, and I'm talking about AI from artificial intelligence used by the federal government, man, they're picking up fraud left and right. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. So people see like, hey, that's an easy, quick way to get some money. shit, the computers own you. They own you. So you got to be smart enough to kind of um, know what's right and wrong, and again to be able to pivot and adjust when things change. That's just how it goes, right? But look, y'all, I want to just had a live feed with you guys tonight talking about how to understand your target market. I hope I gave you guys some good information in regards to everything. I hope it helped you out. Let me go to the chats. You guys got any questions before we wrap everything up? Again, it's Thursday. I will be back in Misfits Radio in the studio at 8 p.m. I cannot remember off the top of my damn head if we're doing Mr. Short Dollar or Change Your Lives. I really can't remember. From Lab the Big Boss, DJ Lab had his birthday. I see right here. Sex Redbone says, "Work smart, not harder." Absolutely, absolutely. I I'm about to lose my damn train of thought. Yeah, Lab took a couple weeks off to reset and everything, but everybody's back in the studio and I'll be in that Thursday 8 p.m. I think we're doing Mr. Short Dollar. I think so. I think we did Change Your Lives last week. But regardless, guys, we're getting whatever platform you want. Go to my YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Again, that's Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Over 1,000 videos, active grant playlists, over 150 different grant opportunities. Because if you came in the middle of this show, so you're on TikTok, Instagram, anything like that, you can go to the YouTube channel, check out a video in its full entirety. You got a question, anything came up during that, you can leave your comments or anything like that on the video on YouTube. You'll take me about 24 hours. I'll get back with you. We're doing that. We got an awesome 2025 plan for you guys, man. I just want to tell you, man, we over 60,000 subscribers, man. We growing. Even miss changing lives, we had 18,000, man. I think we had 30,000 subscribers on TikTok. So man, we're putting in work, man. We doing, and they just let me know because for a simple fact that I haven't been pushing anything out to nobody, was just giving out free information. I guess they tell me we're doing something good. But I will tell you guys this. I do have the book, 5 questions to ask yourself before you start a business, the ebook. It's $5 damn. $5. And they give you 5 core questions I think anybody should ask themselves if they're looking to start a business. Again, it's 5 questions to ask yourself before you start a business. That is the ebook you can buy. Gave you the 5 questions plus a couple of supporting questions to kind of ask yourself. We're doing that, but I think it's very important for anybody looking to go down that road of entrepreneurship to ask themselves. Even with that said, that's just $5 ebook, but you got all that free information on Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. So definitely go there. Check out the December 2024 Small Business Grant. We got 13 different grant opportunities for you guys to check it out. Also, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Go down to the grants playlist. Over 150 different grant opportunities for you guys to check out. That's Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Remember, guys, this is free information. I don't get any kickback. Those grants from that Coca-Cola, Nabisco, Dove soap, whatever. I just vet to make sure they free because me being an entrepreneur, not free, to make sure they're legitimate grants for you guys to take advantage of. Just free information for you guys. So like, it's not my grants. And I also got videos tell you guys help you out because a lot of people ask questions about these grants. One of the key things I keep telling everybody, make sure you got legitimate business. People are not just gonna cut a check to Joe. They're not gonna do that. But if you got Joe's Trucking, you got the documentation, tax ID number there, they give you the money, right? But you just can't come in there, give me money to Joe, give my money to Stacy. That shit ain't gonna work. So I'm just saying, if you got compliance, that's what kills most business owners today. We got videos on there, how to get a business loan and things like that, legitimate stuff. I ain't finna tell you no BS, because I'm an actual accountant, so I'm not gonna tell you anything. I'm kind of BS. For you to get some damn money, this easy way to get 50,000. This is the play to do that, and then you get this damn loan with a 30% interest rate, and you in the worst shape than you was before you even got the money. I ain't gonna tell you stuff like that, right? I'm gonna tell you the right way, which is probably the boring way, which is probably the long way, but it's the way you can take it and you better stay in business. And it's the way you can take it if you do everything the right way, which might take a little time, but you still the right way, but your ass can go to sleep at night. Okay? That's the thing about doing it. And that's what's on Mr. Short on YouTube. I ain't giving you no quick fixes or no bullshit like that. I'm gonna tell you the right way to do stuff, right? And we're doing it because at the end of the day, we got a recourse to just we're doing it because I want to be able to keep doing this, and not having any kind of interruptions because I done told some people some lies. We got cool resets with the new administration coming. Do you feel there'll be a positive effect for small business on the entrepreneurs? I really don't know. I'm gonna again the question that was asked. Cool Breeze asked, with the new administration coming in, do you feel there'll be a positive effect for small business on entrepreneurs? I don't know, and I'm gonna say this, and this is what I've said a lot. Let's say since shit, Bush administration, been in business through all those, right? Ain't stop nothing. You just gotta pivot and adjust. I think the core things that you have to look, what your business. We start with the advertising, the marketing, the managing. If you got a good grasp of them, you'll adjust by any administration. Like new laws coming in, new opportunities, technological advances. Um, though you'll adjust with that. But at the end of the day, it's still the core things are still going to be needed for you. I think a lot of times people had to twist it when President Trump was in the last time they gave out the stimulus checks and people making money. And sometimes people, that's what I was saying earlier, don't get early success confused with the sustainability. You can get high up front, and like next thing you know, when they get cold, it turns to a damn blizzard. You got to sit here and say to yourself, can I make something that's going to last for the long term? If that's what you're looking to do, right? That's the thing you got to kind of look at it. So I don't think any administration. Yeah, I don't think it's going to have a bad effect. I don't think it's going to necessarily have a tremendous effect because it depends on what you do, right? If you doing maybe like you asked about e-commerce, you may be doing something, you may have more opportunities because everybody's talking now, right? So once they get in, you never necessarily know what they may change their mind on, what may be available because we do know like when you start dealing in the politics, you got a lot of things that you want to do can't go into fate depending on other people kind of decide with you. But once opportunities go, then you just see okay, we got more things nationally, locally, or whatever. So it's on you to just take advantage of it. That's my personal opinion. And like I said, I've been in the game for a minute, but I think sometimes people give too much weight uh, to what another person can control what you're going to do or not do, right? So I just think that once they get in, you better see it and adjust. And that's just I'm just thinking about all the administrations that have been in. Like I said the Bushes, the Obama, Trump was there. I mean with Biden. I mean it's just shit. You pivot and adjust. You find your opportunities with certain things. Some stuff be hot here, some be low there. And it really, again, I'm always telling people be more concerned with those local people more than anything, because those ones they have more control on when you can open up, close, how far these businesses got to be apart, how much damn business taxes you got to pay. Those local races are way more impactful than any presidential campaign, but that's probably what people pay the least amount of attention to, right? So, but it's all about what you want to put into with that. Stacey says a long way is a shortcut. So, that's the thing about it. I always say the two steps. Uh, People a lot of times they'll see that a process may take 5 steps, and in 5 steps, like man, this some bullshit. I ain't got time for all that, and they do 1 and 2 and want to skip the 5, but because they want to skip, they got to start over. 2 steps, 4 steps back. 2 steps up, 5 steps back. Because they keep want to go here and skip. You got to do everything in order, right? And it's long, it's boring, it takes too long, but it's the right way to do it. I mean, what I tell you before, guys, when we're young, we feel like things take too long. Then we get older, we feel like we ain't got enough time. It's all about the perspective that you want to have with it. So you just gotta be smart about look. I ain't got time to damn lose. Uh, I ain't no super young person. Well, I feel like I got 30, 40 years to do certain stuff like that, or interest to do that. But with that said, I damn sure don't have time to keep starting over doing the same shit over and over and over again because I didn't want to be disciplined or because I've been ego greedy. So those are the kind of things you got to kind of keep in mind. Cool Bree said, thank you. You're welcome, brother. You're welcome, brother. Now I appreciate you tuning in to the show and everything. Let me scroll through the chats and look on TikTok, see if anybody got any questions. I apologize to anybody if I missed your question. Let me just scroll through before we get off to see if anybody got any questions or anything like that. Anybody got any questions, concerns, complaints, anything like that? I don't see nothing on here. Checking on the Instagram. Okay, I don't see nothing in. Okay, well look. Hey everybody, listen, I love y'all. I appreciate it and everything. If I don't talk to you, I might be on Thursday. I don't know if I'm gonna change lives or not. But if I don't talk to you, man, I want everybody to have a safe and a Merry Christmas, man. You see, me and Will B got a tree up and everything like that. So it's been pretty cool, man. Been pretty cool. Been an awesome 2024. We're looking forward to have an awesome 2025. We're gonna have another show for the end of the year. But again, from the bottom of my heart, I want to tell every one of you guys, I love and appreciate y'all. If you do me one favor, make sure you spread the word on the channel, tell people, everybody you know, to subscribe to the channel. Take advantage of all the great information that's there. And again, like I said before, if you have a question that comes to your mind later, hey, I forgot to thought about it, to ask this, go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and put your comments in the video. I will respond. Right? You can look at my track record now. He asked me about, the UFOs and Jersey and shit like that. Nah, I ain't finna get in that shit with you. I ain't even finna do. We ain't even gonna play like that, right? But we know if it's business related, anything like that, your boy got you. Free Spirit 5061 said, "Thank you and Merry Christmas to you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Merry Christmas to you as well." Look, everybody, look, I'm finna get ready to disappear. Appreciate everything. Y'all take care. Y'all be safe. Have a great weekend and a happy holiday. Like I said, I should catch you before then. But if not, y'all take care, and I will talk with you soon. Peace.